Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Autodesk Build presentation, where we will showcase the new unified Autodesk Build offering that the new ACS, Autodesk Construction Cloud Solutions, have. So first of all, on the agenda, what we'll do is we'll just introduce the ProCAD AEC team, and we'll move on then to the Autodesk Construction Cloud evolution and explain that. And what we'll also do then is move on then to a live demo where Ger and Maria will showcase features and functionality on the interface. So I'm Sean O'Dwyer, I'm the AEC Division Manager. And also on this demo would be Gerald O'Sullivan, who is the technical specialist, and also Maria McNamara, who is the application specialist from ProCAD. So kind of to go through the Autodesk Cloud evolution, it commenced there where Autodesk purchased the following kind of softwares like PlanGrid, Pipe, and Assemble. So that moved on then where they try to integrate these kind of integrations amongst these solutions. And to move on from there, then what they have provided then is the unified offering where all of these solutions will reside on the one platform and they're all interconnected. So to kind of move on from that, their reasons for that was to kind of digitize all normal everyday workflows. They wanted everything in a paper-based situation to transition across into a more digital, easy to access offering. And with those integrations with the likes of that, they were able to kind of add more features and functionality to people's everyday use and everyday workloads by adding different features and functionality to the platform. And with the optimization of all these integrations, they were able to capture these with data analytics and provide optimized insights into lessons learned, root cause and analytics, and also how your engagement of your users are on the interface. So with that, the offerings then were to kind of move from the whole design aspect of a project all the way through to the operational phase. And if you can see on the bottom there, you have where all your drawings reside, your models, where you have your full interconnection of teams. You also have ways of managing assets, and with the Autodesk Build, you can start to manage your costings and your contracts. And with that, then you're kind of capturing data, which is, as you know yourself, in this modern day age, is that's the most beneficial part of a digital solution. And also then with insights, by capturing all that data, you're getting insights into stuff that you wouldn't know previously in a paper-based or a traditional workflow. So what we're going to focus on this is the Autodesk Build. But as you can see, there's a lot more functionality within the ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud offerings. So what we're going to focus here is on this section here, where we've the project management, cost management, quality, safety, and closeout section of the interface. So we're going to move along here now is onto the demo, and we will showcase the platform. So thank you there, and we'll move on then to Maria then, who's going to give an overview on the platform itself there. So I'll just transfer you across there to Maria.
Thanks, Sean. Can you see my screen okay there?
Yeah, we can see it there. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so when you're accessing your project, you're logged into the new Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. So you can see the address that you're logging into here. And you're logging in with your Autodesk account details. So you can see I'm signed in that. Now, in here is the full project list of all of the projects that I'm currently a member of. Now, you can see straight away that there are different icons for different projects. So the B is for projects that are on the BIM 360 platform. The sphere here is for the ones that are on the new Autodesk Construction Cloud platform. You also have access to any plan grid projects as well that you're a member of. So just by selecting that, brings you into here and you can sign into your project. I can filter here through my projects to find the one that I'm currently on. Excuse me. So from here, any project admins or account admins can create new projects, or you can go to your project templates and create a project from a template that you've already set up. Okay, so I can search my project here. So I can select it from the list. So this brings me straight into my build module. Now this here is a module selector, and you can see that we have activated other modules for this particular project as well. So we have our docs, design collaboration, and so on. So you can select which ones you want from here. You can also go to your project admin section. On the left here, then you have the different areas within this build module. So I'm currently in my home area. So here you have an overview of your entire project. So you can see the project progress. You have quick links to your sheets area, your members area, your recent activity that has taken place on this project. You can see that some photos were added, comments were added to issues, and so on. Here you have work status. So I can see straight off that I have 2 overdue issues. I have 1 overdue RFI. So from here I can select that and it will bring me directly to those issues and RFIs. Underneath that, then you have the overdue issues, overdue RFIs for the entire project. So you have quick access to those through this home area. If I go to the files area then, so files area is your access to your files in your document management module through your build module. So in this section we have for the field and we have our project files. So for the field is for drawings or models that need to be accessed by people on site. So your project files are for the files, models, whatever that you're going to be using to collaborate with your team. Now all of these folders are customizable according to what you need for your particular project. So here we have our drawings and models for our architects team. So in our drawings area, we have a couple of PDFs already uploaded to this section. And you can see the attributes that we have for these PDFs. We have a description if you need a further description for them. We have the version. So you can see for these 3, we're currently on version 2 of these drawings. The other 2 are version 1. You can see which have been published. So you have the option of publishing your sheets, your drawings to your sheets area. Now they can be done individually or together. So you just select it, click on publish, and that will publish them. You can also select them all together by selecting this box here at the top, and that will publish all of them. You can see as well which ones have personal markups, which ones have published markups. You can see when they were last updated, updated by, and so on. Now these attributes are customizable as well. You can select the settings. You can see the ones that we currently have. You can go to attribute settings and you can create a new attribute if you need to. Now just to show you with the viewer for looking at these drawings. So if I select this one here, we can see this current drawing. Now, because this one is version 2, you have a compare function in this viewer, so you can compare the different versions. You have this compare icon. So we're comparing version 2 to version 1 of the same file. Now this brings up this window, so whatever changes were made in version 2 is highlighted in red, version 1 is in blue. So you can see straight away what changes have been made to this particular drawing. You can turn them on and off as you need to as well. Okay, so you see we have a review status for these drawings. So we can submit these drawings to for the field area and we can put it through a review process. So to do that, we can select the file, click on the 3 dots here and click submit for review. So you can select an approval workflow. We have one set up already here. We can give it a review name. You can also add more files if you need to, and you can click submit here. So I have one already done. Now to access that, we go back to our docs and into our reviews area of docs. So this is the one that I have already set up here. So from here, you can select the review status. So we have either not approved or for the field approved. So if I want to approve it, first of all, I can select it here. And if I'm happy with it, I can add a comment. Then I can select for the field approved, and I can click submit review, add any comments if I need to, and then click submit. Okay, so back into my build module. Okay, so that will copy that then into that drawings folder for the field, so it can be accessed by the people on site then. Now within these drawings, you can also have issues. So if I select this one here, see if there's any issues on this one. Okay, so we currently have an issue on this particular one. So if I select it, the issue details will come up here on the right-hand side. So we can see currently this is issue number 27. The title of it, it's currently open, the type of issue that it is. So you can see you can enter in all of these details for this particular issue. We have a description. Now this isn't assigned to anyone at the moment, but we can assign it to whoever needs to be. So just selecting that, and you can assign it to a particular member. You can assign it to a role as well, excuse me, or a company. So you can specify a location, the location details, when this issue is due. So we can specify that it's due on the 15th, the start date is today, and the root cause. So we have default causes that are here already. So we have coordination, we have design, quality, and so on. We can also add a reference. So we can select a reference from our photos, our files, existing RFIs or assets as well. So all of those issues then can be viewed in your docs area. So here we have the full list of issues currently on this project. So these can be filtered as well. You can filter by issue ID, by category, type, or who they're assigned to. So I can see my own if I want to. I can select that. So I can see that I currently have 4 issues assigned to me. Okay, sorry, back into build. So within your files area as well, obviously when you're collaborating, you need to specify what folders people have access to, and that can be done through permissions. So if I go in here to my architects folder, I click on the 3 dots, click on permissions. So I can see who has permissions to those particular folders. Now you have different levels of permissions as well. So you can see you have view only, view and download, view down, publish markup. So we have a number of permissions that we can assign to different people. Now the permissions can be assigned by member, by role, or by company, depending on the level of permissions people need. Okay, so just to show you one more thing, so we have meetings as well. Now we have a number of meetings already created. So to create a new meeting, just select that. So we can assign a date for the meeting. So we assign it for, say, Monday, time. Right. Okay. Okay, so we can add a link, a conference link if we need to. So a description, we can add a description. So this is the design review, meeting topic. Ground floor, you can add a meeting item, you can add a meeting summary. We can add invitees to this meeting. So selecting that, you can add a member of the project. You can add a non-member as well if you want to. You can add references to the meeting. So we can add files from our files area or from our sheets area. And once that's done, now let's add those. And we can share with invitees if we need to. So we can select invitees from the list here. We can share with others. So this is where you can enter in the email address of people that aren't currently a member of the project. You can, so this is a link to the meeting that you can share with non-members as well. So we can change this to minutes to lock in the meeting. So we can mark as minutes. You can create a follow-up meeting from this. So you can select a follow-up date. So we can say the following Monday. Confirm that. And from there, then you can edit the details of that particular meeting, depending on what's needed to be discussed. So again, you can change the meeting discussion. You can add an item. You can add more reference if needed then to this particular meeting. Okay, so I'll hand you over to Ger then, and he will take you through a couple of the other areas here in the build module.
Thanks very much, Maria. Can you see my screen there okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so thanks very much for that. What I'm going to go through is some of the remaining features that are within Autodesk Build. So the areas that I'm going to cover are forms, photos, RFIs, submittals, and then a little bit about assets. So what I mean currently at the moment is forms, and digital forms are something that our previous BIM 360 customers will be very used to. Okay, so within here you have a couple of different types of tabs. So the first one you can see is all forms, which shows you all forms that are created in this current project. Okay, next you can see ones that are just individually assigned to me, which there aren't any. Also, you can see forms by template. Okay, so this is something new that's within the Autodesk Construction Cloud, that you can actually create templates and individual folders. So you can see that I have set up inside here a QA, QC, HSE, commissioning, and office use. Within those, then we have our specific forms. So any types of daily reports that are going to be created are automatically going to be placed into the QA, QC folder. Similar enough with the likes of the HSE side of it, anything such as safety inspections or job hazard analyses are going to all be placed in inside here. So what I'm going to just show first is an example of how these are actually created. So the first thing is that when I select into the form itself, you can see that how the form is filled out. This is something that's new within Autodesk Construction Cloud, is this PDF editor inside here that's fully customizable that you can create inside here. Also, you can see on the left hand side the activity. So when the form is created, the form number, its description, who it was submitted by, and when it was submitted on. You can also see who is this available and what reviewers can see it, and who the form was last edited by. And something like Maria said there, inside here you can choose your references that the forms want to be in. So you can see that on this form here there's a particular photo, and all these are fully traceable within the actual module itself. So this photo will also be located in the Photos tab, and within the Photos tab it'll also reference back to this individual form here as well, which is very good about traceability inside here. So also you can see that there is one that's open. So I'll select into one that's open inside here. So you can see that again, I can customize its activity, its work log, materials and equipment, its signature. So you can see that I can add a signature inside here, and I can fully just add my signature and save, and you can see that that's automatically added inside here. Also, you can see that you can add your references. So not only can you add photos, but you can add the likes of issues, files, whether it was referencing drawings or floor plans inside in your file section here. You can also see that maybe this form will actually form part of a greater inspection. So you can add forms within forms. So if this was only a sub form, like let's say maybe a snag form that you'd be going on the ground floor, and then you'd have an overall form for the actual ground floor. You can see that forms can be added within forms, and you can see that you can also add pieces of assets as well, so equipment that are being placed on site. So forms are fully customizable. You can see that you can create new forms above here, and if I was to, let's say, create an inspection form, you can see that again I have that same functionality inside here, but also you can see I can customize the PDF that is attached. So I could just, let's say, type in here an example 003, and you can start coming in now and editing the form and ticking out what's applicable during this form inside here in terms of the safety inspection. I won't go through all that for the moment. I'll just leave this here. But what I'll also cover is the templates. So how do you actually set up this folder structure here being used by this create option? So you can not only see that you can create the actual a new template itself, but you can also create some folders as well. If you wanted to create subfolders, you simply select the folder, create folder, and that will create a subfolder underneath that QA/QC option. So just to further explain this, is that you can see each form that's specified within each folder. So within the QA/QC, like I said, any daily reports that are going to be created automatically assigned under this folder type. You can see HSE has that safety inspection, job analysis. Commissioning has the likes of room sign off and general walks. So how do you actually add these to individual folders? If I was to select on this safety inspection, I can edit this option over here. So not only can you see you can edit the type of name, you can see that inside here you can edit the folder structure. So you can see I can assign it to no folder if I wanted to, or else I could change the folder type inside here. Also, you can see the type of form that is being applied to, so it's a safety form. And another very good tool inside here is that if you found that this type of form is being outdated and there's a new revision of this form available, you can see that you can replace this PDF with an updated version to keep that form up to date with inside your platform here. Also, you can see you can add in the likes of weather and any additional notes. You can choose inside here what contributors are going to be added to this. So whether they're project members or admins, you can see that you can add more. And also you can see the people who are available to review it. So at the moment, this is a single contributor option, but you can change this to multiple contributors in sequence. So that means that if this is quite a large form, and if, let's say, the likes of me, Maria, and Sean were doing this, I was taking the ground floor. Once I finished that ground floor side of the form, I pass it on then to Sean, who'll take first floor, and Maria will take the roof. So that's why you'd have the option for the multiple contributors. So once I finish out the ground floor side of it, and I assign that, then I finish my side, that will automatically then be assigned to Sean. He'll have to fill out his first floor side of it before it'll automatically be assigned out into Maria for the roof. So that's how you'd edit and customize the forms within the folders inside here, and then back inside here, how you create those forms and start filling them out inside here. So like I was saying, everything inside here is fully traceable. So you can see inside here the likes of the photo inside here has been referenced. So if I was to select into the photos tab inside here, and then if I was to select into that individual photo, you can see I can go to reference, and it's referencing back to that form inside here. So everything is fully traceable inside here. You can also see that within the photos tab, the title that is assigned to this photo and the tags. So I could start adding this into different tags, because obviously inside here, this area is a central location for any photos that are going to be uploaded onto the platform. So obviously, as your project progresses, you'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of photos that are assigned to it. So what we normally recommend is, once you have assigned these tags or these photos, you assign them with tags. So if you were going to tag them up with specific levels or specific room areas or room names, you can assign them inside here. And what that allows you to do is you can select this filter option over here on the right. And let's say I just want to filter out by anything that is on the office area. So you can see that just the photos that have the tag office in them are appearing inside here. Also, you can see that you can select again the photo and references, and you can see that this photo is assigned to not only a form, but 2 issues as well. So another handy tool inside here is that when you're working on a project, and it's just a nice touch, is that you have the map functionality here. So if you have your location set on while you're using your phone and you take the photo, you can see that it maps the location of where that photo was taken. So you could have multiple different dots in the one area on the one project as well. So next, what I'm just going to go through is RFIs. So requests for information. So with the RFIs, okay, you can see that you can create a new RFI above here. You can give the status open for reviewer, or whether it's in draft. It automatically assigns an RFI number along with a title. So who the ball in court is. So who's the next step? Who's going to actually have to fill out this RFI and carry out and submit it? Any core reviewers, and what location this RFI is submitted into. And then again, you can see it's always adding references. So you can always add it to the likes of files, sheets, photos, or you can see that in the Autodesk build here, you have the cost module as well. So you can add a potential change order, and you can that linked in back into the cost module, which I'll just briefly touch over. But I'm just going to go into an open review inside here. So it's a very good functionality. At the very top here, you can see the name along with the number. You can see who it was submitted by and what date. You can see that currently it's in review and it's being reviewed by Maria. Also, you can see underneath this the general information. So the question is, what are the finishes? The status is open. The ball in court means that who it's actually been assigned to next, which, as you can see, it's Maria. You can see that this is actually has a cost impact on the project. Okay, so what it means is that you can specify that the RFI will have further cost implications, and you can link this back to the cost module. Okay, so you can also see that at the moment we have created a potential change order, and if I was to select into that change order, you can see that it brings me into the cost module. Okay, so it automatically brings up the PCO, so the potential change order, along with its number. You can see the name, and you can see that the description on it. You can also see that it might have an actual cost on it as well. This one doesn't, and you can see that it's actually referenced inside here to an RFI. Okay, so it's fully customizable, it's fully traceable within it. I'll just X off of this and come back in here. Also, you can see the recent activity, who was last created by. Okay, so that is essentially the RFIs. You can see one that's maybe closed inside here, so design. You can see again, it's referencing not only a photo, but it's referencing another change order. And within this change order, then you might see that there's actually a cost applied to it as well. So the costing is going to be 5,000 if this change order is actually submitted and accepted. Okay, so all this is fully customizable, fully traceable within the project. And you can see that similar to RFIs, if you have any elements, within the project that you need to get approval on, submittals are the area that you'll use. So the thing with submittals is that it's items led. Okay, so you can create an item, assign it to a specific spec sheet, give that spec sheet a subsection along with its title, its description. You can apply it to a package, which I'll explain about in a second. You can see that you can add it to a type. So what type of submittal this will be, whether it will be a mock-up, something to do with the product data. And you can see that if you have anyone else that you want to assign this to, give it a due date, its priority, whether it's high, low, or normal. And you can see that it's all attachments and required dates as well that you can assign it to. But like I was saying there, it's all items led. But if you found that you had created multiple different items and they were all to do with the one individual, let's say, area, so if they were all to do with the ground floor, you could select those items and you could create a package for them. So let's say I could just select mechanical package or create a new one. I might change this to overall drainage. Click done. That creates a package now of those 3 items, and you can see that they're inside here, and you can start seeing how you can actually fill out those items, whether they're to be reviewed and whether those submittals will be accepted. So again, you can see you can create your different types of packages. Like I did there, I assigned that one to overall drainage, but if you found that the packages weren't applicable to the items, you could create a new package, give that a spec section, what it's relating to, and then give it a title or description. So you can see inside here that the settings inside here are fully customizable. I could go into spec sections and I create a new spec section if there wasn't one already available inside there. All right, so that's packages. That's submittals and that's RFIs. They're both similar into how they actually be, I suppose, the workflow for them. So lastly, what I'm going to go through now is the assets. So assets are something that you can track your equipment that are being placed on site. Okay, so you can create an asset. So if you found a piece of equipment that was going in on site, you could create an asset for that piece of equipment. You can also find that if you have an Excel sheet with multiple different assets on it, you can import that Excel sheet into here, and that would fully customize the list then inside here. So you can also see that you can associate your asset with a barcode. So you could scan a barcode on site, and then that barcode will directly lead you into the link, which will directly lead you into the actual asset itself. So you can specify whether that asset has been ordered, whether it's been delivered or been installed. So every time you scan that barcode on site, then you can specify and you can update the status then as you go. So that's kind of what assets is. You can see that with the asset might reference a floor plan, it might reference a form, an issue that's been placed on site, or you might actually have a photo as well of that asset just to explain further on the Autodesk build module what it looks like. You can see that you can export out this assets module here, and that will export out a CSV file that you can read, and you can fully get like importing the assets. You can export them and you can get a full list inside an Excel as well. So that's briefly touching over the assets. You can see that you can have all categories, and if I go into settings, I can customize those categories. So I could have category types where the assets are assigned into individually. You can see that I have the options to create subcategories. Also, you can see that I have the option to create custom fields. So you can see that I have created a field here called warranty period. I can create a new field inside here. Let's say installed. You could say field type. You could say text, or you could say pass no, yes, no, or multiple select. So I'll just say text and I'll just say create. So then that field then can be assigned into the actual asset itself. If you were to select into an asset here, you can add that inside in here as well. Okay, so you could add installed into here, and that's all fully customizable within the assets tab. So that's kind of the assets over with there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand you back to my colleague Sean, who's going to take you through the kind of reporting side of it and the insights. And again, if you have any questions on what I covered, just feel free to pop it into the chat as well. I'll just make you their presenter, Sean.
Thank you, Ger. Yeah. So can everyone see my screen here?
Sorry, yeah, Sean, we can.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. So what I'm going to focus on here now is just kind of go through the reporting aspect of it. Like, and as Ger and Maria said, that everything is all fully interconnected. So as you start populating the root causes and the issues themselves, it's automatically populating the insight module, which is all data and dashboards and having the ability to pull dashboards out of the platform. So this is the insight module, which is included with the Autodesk build platform. So you can see here, once you log in here, you straight away see your project issues. You can see how approval reviews are taking place, even product design issues. And there's also the ability to integrate third-party applications here. And by doing that, what you do here is just click on the Customize tab here and onto the card library. It's very similar to the BIM 360 platform, but you can see here, if I click on partner cards even, if anyone has like the likes of Box, you have ways of integrating that into it. And this is the list of integrations that are currently available. Oculo is another third-party application. We have customers who are integrating Power BI, where they want to have dashboards within the BIM 360 environment, and they use this integration to kind of have it so that it's one single kind of location for all their information. So these are all the integrations that you can add. I'll just close that there, and I'll just cancel that. Sorry, cancel that card. So that's kind of a hidden dashboard that I have. That's kind of one that you have that you can share among certain people. Previously with BIM 360, you had to customize your insight dashboards so that they're for each people. Whereas with this, I can customize my design dashboard here just for myself. But this hidden dashboard is solely for different people. So if Ger and Maria log on here, they'll have this hidden dashboard ability to see exactly what I want them to see as well. You can see here it's broken into design, project controls, quality, and safety. So if the safety manager on site just wanted to focus on the safety aspects, they just click on the safety. Similarly with the quality manager, they can see all quality kind of dashboards. And you can see here they're nice kind of dashboards that are driven off of it. They have the ability from here as well to go into different issues. So you can see these ones are open. So if I click here, it gives you a brief overview of it. And if I want to go in and answer that, I just click on the additional details here, and I can move in onto that then as well. There's ways that you can run reports on this. So if I click on reports, it's very similar to the BIM 360 aspect, where you can see your reports log straight away. So this is an RFI report log that's on a schedule. You can see here that it's scheduled to run every week. I can cancel that there or download the report if needs be. If I wanted to create a report, I just click here, and here's are all the reports that you can create. These are mostly the cost management one, which Ger briefly went over with your PCOs, your owner's change orders, your budget as well. So because everything is fully interconnected, you can run dashboards and run reports off of anything. So if I wanted to get a detail report, I click issue detail, and here's where you would apply your filters. So if I want to see a filter on created on, or I can remove that and add a filter of, say, type, and say I just want to see an issue report on, say, coordination and clashes. And like I say, here I want it sorted by a certain aspect. And what you do then is you click run report, and it will run that report for you. So if I want to go back into reports, if I've templates created, you can have the ability to schedule those as well. So if I click on templates, you can see here now that I have an RFI report, RFI log that's scheduled to run, and it's going to run every week on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 8 a.m. between a certain dates. I can edit that if I wanted to. And I can add more filters if needs be to that aspect. Let's go back again here. Sorry, that's just showing the filters that are ran on it. So you can see you can see who the recipients are coming onto that RFI log. And so if I go into my templates again, and I can edit the schedule here. So I don't want this to run anymore. I just say it's monthly. I can remove the schedule here at the bottom. You can also have it if there's non-members on the platform. You can say, I want to add this to Joe Blogs roofing, roofing, or roofs.ie. So when this is scheduled to run again, it will email that person. But when they log on to that PDF and they click on a hyperlink, they won't be brought anywhere to the platform because they're not engaged on the interface. They just get a PDF report. That's all. So I can remove that schedule by just clicking here, and that schedule is removed. So that's our templates. You can see here what other ones were ran and so on the interface. That's kind of a quick way of capturing reports off the platform. There's also an option, with, as I mentioned before, with the Power BI, you can run a data connector. So that will export out all of the CSVs and data analytics as well, that you can actually delve further into more aspects of the platform. So that's kind of, you can run an extraction. You can schedule it to run weekly or monthly. So every week on a certain date, it'll run that and email you the CSV. So that's kind of different aspects of the schedule of the data extractor. Another aspect that was recently added to the platform was the ability to, so I just go to Magneto here, was the ability to have a file naming convention on it. So if I go into my docs aspect, you can start to integrate a naming standard. So I'm in my project files here, which is more or less the common data environment. You can see here there's a holding area, which I'll go into there now in a bit. And if see the settings here, you have the ability to set up the ISO naming standard. So I can just go, there's a default ISO naming standard, and I can just go view and apply, and that will apply that naming standard to the platform. I think I've already here annex. So I have one here, which is on the Irish annex. And what that will do is it's the exact same, more or less, idea. I'll just show you that what has happened here now is it's after applying a tick box here, because if I go on my settings and naming standards, I've applied my naming convention to that folder. And you can see here it's fully customizable. So if I click on customize here, you can see here that I can change the project. There's your originator. You can add different originators to this if needs be. So if I wanted to add ProCAD as an originator, so let's add an attribute. Let's go change. I can add a value here. So PRO would be the acronym for ProCAD. PROCAD. So that's kind of adding a company. Let's click save, and that will fall under here. If there's a role here and you want to add a particular role or elaborate any bit further, you can customize it that way. And if there's different file types, you can customize them here as well. So once they're done, I just save and apply. I just get a file here now just to upload into it here. So if I have a particular file that I want to upload, so what it's doing now is it's actually enforcing a naming convention standard. And if I added a subfolder here, so add subfolder is kind of upload area. You can see here that it's enforced it with the tick box because it's driven from the top level down. I can customize that enforcement area by clicking here. So I can take that off and just apply it to the whole upload area here. And if I just go back to files, you'll see the difference here now, that the tick box is gone off of project files, but I have this upload area here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just upload up a daily log here. So that's saying straight away that it doesn't conform to the standards. So the project then needs to be saying here that it needs to conform to the naming standard. So if I say this is project 5555, and it goes blue once it meets the requirements. Originator is ProCAD, that's the new one I put in. And you go through these kind of naming conventions. That's a log. I'll keep it as a report, say. and it's from the say contractor. We go what we do. We say we'll bring this from the structural engineer, so it'll be S, and this is the number 00001. So you can see here now I've populated all of these, and I have the option here of going upload to folder. So that means I've renamed it, I've gone through an approval process. But you might get some people who say, we just want to upload it, and just go upload to holding area. So what that's doing now is it's uploading it into the holding area. And you can see here, even under this upload area, there's no file in there. But in the holding area here, it's saying that there's files. There's one file that needs to be reviewed and put through. So if you select that there, it gives you the date and what folder that has that particular file within it. So I click it and I say, it shows the box where it doesn't meet the requirements. You have certain statuses that you can put in here. These are not actual requirements, because like once it goes blue, it means that everything is okay. I just go save to folder. And what that's doing now it's after renaming the entire file and putting it in here into the upload area. And what you can see here, it has all these attributes. And as Ger mentioned there, you can easily turn these on and off by just selecting it here. And that's your report that's been up there on the platform to meet the requirements. That's kind of a very quick overview. What we're going to host as well in the next session would be the takeoff, which is kind of is the next kind. It's like an add-on module to the ACS, and there's also a cost module which Ger briefly ran over. So the takeoff is just another module. It's a very powerful tool, and we will show that on our next event, where you can actually take quantification off of 2D and 3D files. So does anyone have any questions at this? I see there's no chats come in on any questions. If anyone has any questions, we can ask them here, or we can address them afterwards. If someone wants to email either myself, Ger and Maria, we'd be delighted to answer them. So the questions pane. I was writing a BEP or a BINCH 60 is prescribed. Would you recommend it instead? And is there different licensing models? There are. The ACS is different in that it's a bring your own subscription model. It's very similar to the BIM 60 design, which is now Collaborate Pro. So you could have, say if you had 25 licenses yourself, you might need 50 to include your supply chain. Instead of you incurring the costs of the 50, what you do is you'd ask them to buy their own relevant licenses, and you can invite them in using their licenses, and they can use their licenses on multiple other projects with different customers too as well. So it's all bring your own subscription model. That's a difference with the licensing on it. It's also licensed by sheets. So as Maria showed there, that you have the ability to publish sheets as well. So that's the way it's driven off of a sheets aspect too. So there's a 550 sheet, a 5,000 sheet, and unlimited sheet Autodesk build pricing. So that's another, but everything can still reside under the files area. There's no limit to the files. The only thing that has a limit is your sheets, which are here. There's nothing else of a difference. No, it still has the same kind of API connections. So any APIs that are connected to BIM 360 can still be connected to with the unified Autodesk. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions? No. That's perfect. So what we'll do is, as I've said, if anyone has any questions after this or feel that they might have forgotten to ask any question, just feel free to send on the email to either my address or Ger and Maria's. Thank you very much, and hope you have a nice evening.